my name is Cathy Fitzgerald. I'm a research fellow at the European Centre of Excellence for Research into CPD. For this presentation today, I would like to provide you with an overview of the recently launched Centre of Excellence. The aim of the centre is to establish a pan-European multidisciplinary network of researchers, clinicians, regulators, patient representatives and professional bodies to advance the science of CPD through research and foster knowledge exchange that will promote best practice in CPD that can be translated across Europe. Currently, the centre has members from the following 20 countries: Albania, Belgium, Croatia, Faroe Islands, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Ireland, Italy, Lithuania, Malta, Netherlands, Portugal, Romania, Slovenia, Spain, UK and the USA. We continue to welcome new members across all the healthcare disciplines. Members of the centre come from a variety of backgrounds, including academia, regulation, and professional associations. Our primary objective is to foster knowledge exchange and develop a joint research agenda by coordinating efforts to develop an understanding of the impact of current CPD activities on patient outcomes and patient safety, to develop a common understanding of what CPD means at a European level and contribute to the development of future standards for CPD. Advance our understanding of the economic impact of CPD to inform the development of effective, sustainable and cost-effective CPD activities that impact patient safety and healthcare outcomes. Act as a platform to facilitate multi-stakeholder engagement, enable access to a global network of researchers, clinicians and advocacy groups in the field of CPD. CPD can mean different things to different people, so at the centre we developed a mind map of what CPD means to us. So as you can see from the mind map, CPD encompasses many different elements, from acquiring new knowledge and skills to lifelong learning, research activities, and how it is linked to the needs of the health service and the need for organisational support for CPD. The evaluation of CPD training programmes requires a holistic approach. This proposed quality framework design serves as a guide and a stimulus to measure the objectives of CPD programmes and how organisations can support healthcare workers to implement newly acquired knowledge and skills in the clinical setting to promote professionalism for healthcare workers. This is a geographical representation of the Centre of Excellence organisational structure, and it illustrates the reporting relationships and the roles and responsibilities between individuals and groups within the organisation. As you can see, there are 3 research working groups, which I will discuss in detail in the following slides. The first research group is evaluating the impact of CPD. The aim of this working group is to evaluate and map the impacts of continuing professional development for healthcare professionals on their clinical performance and how it impacts people-centred care, patient safety and healthcare outcomes and healthcare organisations. A secondary aim is to foster interprofessional collaboration in evaluating CPD programmes and processes. Current research has mixed findings regarding CPD impact. A priority concern is that existing CPD activities do not produce meaningful long-term change in the behaviours and attitudes of healthcare professionals and improvements in healthcare outcomes. Another difficulty is that CPD activities have consistently had minimal impact on improving professional practice, healthcare outcomes and patient safety. Findings from research have recommended the need to go beyond knowledge accumulation and examine how changes in healthcare practitioners' behaviour can lead to improved patient outcomes. Although a plethora of research has examined CPD participation, user satisfaction and knowledge acquisition, there is a paucity of studies examining the impact on clinical performance. A major deficit is the lack of research investigating how CPD affects person-centred care, patient safety and major healthcare outcomes. A recent meta-analysis by Servo and Gaines in 2015 found that CPD leads to a greater improvement in clinical performance and patient outcomes if it is more interactive, uses more methods, involves multiple exposures, is longer and focused on outcomes that are considered important to the clinician. So how do we measure and evaluate the impact of CPD? Well, herein lies the challenge for researchers in this field. I think this case study, published in a document by the England Centre for Practice Development, aptly describes the challenges of evaluating the impact of CPD activities. A large NHS trust sends a group of practitioners on a commissioned training programme run by a local university in order to upskill them to improve the quality of care provided to outpatients departments as part of an organisational-wide strategy to create an integrated outreach programme to reduce waiting times. The practitioners learned, amongst other skills, to cannulate and to take blood, the aim being that outpatient clinics might be led by nurses and advanced healthcare practitioners in both hospital and GP and walk-in centre settings. On returning to their workplace, only 30% of participants were enabled to put their skills into practice. They experienced good support, ongoing supervision, coaching for a multidisciplinary team, and opportunities to update their skills. However, the other 70% returned to workplaces where there was opposition from other members of the multidisciplinary team, lack of support and supervision, or lack of opportunity to put their skills into practice. As the workplace did not enable a learning environment to advance practice, no one benefited and the investment was wasted. This is an example of a model to assess outcomes of CPD activities. As I previously mentioned, a lot of research has been done on levels 1 through 4. However, there is significantly less on levels 5 through 7, specifically patient healthcare outcomes. So the objectives of this research group are to conduct a desk-based research of models of outcome evaluation pertinent to CPD, thereby creating a database which can be used as a resource for the centre in evaluating the impacts of CPD, to identify gaps in models of outcome evaluation, develop and validate measurements and evaluation instruments for CPD as necessary, to develop a system to collect and analyse metrics including outcome measures that are unique to CPD, identify outcomes of collaborating with quality improvement community, evaluate the effects and impacts of planned changes such as professional regulation on healthcare outcomes, as mandatory CPD and recertifications are not required for all healthcare professionals across the European community. The second research working group is on the use of digital pedagogy for CPD. Digital innovation created novel ways of delivering CPD programs. Computers, mobile computer devices such as smartphones and tablets, and increased access to the internet have the utility to help individuals and groups with their CPD. These tools provide powerful teaching, learning and knowledge acquisition opportunities. Digital technologies are consistently evolving with new applications in healthcare, and there is a need to investigate how these technologies facilitate CPD. The specific aim of this working group is to evaluate the use of digital innovation for CPD as a means to improve the performance of healthcare organisations. A second aim is to evaluate the use of selective tools that facilitate CPD, such as e-portfolios. The objectives for this group include developing and testing an electronic platform for effective delivery of CPD, test the ability of this electronic platform to enable the integration of continuing education and CPD, and finally evaluate how CPD programs can facilitate training and education in digital skills for healthcare professionals. Planned research in this area is the use of e-portfolios to support healthcare professionals in maintaining their CPD. And the final working group investigates the economic impact of CPD. Knowledge regarding the expense and value associated with educational methods informs decisions and choices about continuing professional development activities for healthcare professionals, healthcare organisations as funders, and the educational institutions that provide CPD programs. Such knowledge informs the sustainability and efficiency of CPD programs. In times of changing healthcare, economic restraints within the healthcare service and workforce shortages, it is essential that sustainability and efficiency of CPD programs be a fundamental part of the healthcare service. Despite calls for increased economic accountability in healthcare professional education, economic evaluations of CPD programs remain a challenge, with a limited number of published studies in this field. The aim of this working group is to evaluate how cost analysis can demonstrate the effectiveness, benefits and economic utility associated with CPD. investigate ways to relate the output of CPD to quality and safety of the healthcare system, research the impact of CPD on healthcare costs and resources using country-specific data, and demonstrate the value of investing in CPD. This group is currently working on a scoping review of economic evaluations of CPD for healthcare professionals. A research proposal has been developed to investigate out-of-pocket expenses for healthcare professionals to maintain CPD, which is commonly cited as a barrier to CPD. So why is this centre important? I think you will all agree that we cannot underestimate the benefit of collaborating and the opportunity to collaborate with our European partners. Through collaboration, we can pool resources, share ideas and build partnerships. As you will have seen, there are significant gaps in specific areas of CPD research, and this provides us with an opportunity to work together to address these gaps to support healthcare professionals and their organisations to improve healthcare outcomes and professional practice. The centre was officially launched on the 26th of February 2020. The launch was attended by members of the centre from across Europe, and the launch of the Centre of Excellence is an important step in developing evidence base through cross-disciplinary collaborative research activity and knowledge exchange. The centre was the brainchild of Professor Thomas Kearns, and I would also like to acknowledge the members of the centre for their continued support and collaboration, and finally members of the RCSI administration team where the hub of the centre is located. Thank you for your attention.